Well, good morning, y'all. Wanted to stop back for my second video this morning and do a follow-up to yesterday's intro, and hopefully I can keep my standards high. Had many of you come in yesterday and made me feel good. Pinball preparedness, smart man. Hope I can keep it high for his standards. Big thank you to Lake Ferry Prepper. She helped me get through the first upload yesterday in the first video and has been a tremendous source of encouragement. Her and Bigfoot. Owe them both a big thank you. Lady Casca, Christ is the answer. Everybody else, I'm sorry, I don't want to leave anybody out. My short-term memory never has been any good. So this morning I was looking around for some inspiration to make a follow-up and see what else we can talk about here. And after watching Arkansas Living's video this morning on production and economic impacts, I thought we'd talk a little bit about trucking and the weather and that sort of thing, just to give everybody a little bit of perspective on what's going on with that. In the full disclosure of everything, I never did drive a tractor trailer. Biggest thing I drove was a 12-foot box truck, and even that was more vehicle than I wanted to drive. Ran everything from a Ford Escort to full-size cargo van. Had a 4150 for a long time. Had 550,000 miles on the odometer when a piece of ice sent us into the ditch one morning, and the insurance company totaled it. So we go from there. So see, I wasn't lying when I said I've logged my million. Seen a lot of things on the road through the years, though. Talked to a lot of truck drivers. Seen a lot of things, and thought I'd give a little perspective too on trucking prices and all that kind of mess. And that reminded me back to a video that Pinball had done some time back where I made some pretty good comments about trucking and everything. First thing is the price of fuel. Diesel right now, last I saw, was about $3.15 a gallon, which, yeah, is steep. It was only a little over $1 when I started driving. Now, most big trucks you'll see on the interstate these days have 2 tanks on them, one below each door. And on the over-the-road trucks, those tanks are either 100 or 150 gallons. So, times 2, you're holding 200 to 300 gallons of fuel. Day cabs, which are essentially the big trucks without the sleeper bunk on them, will have a smaller tank on each side, typically 50 to 75. Some of them will have 100. But the day cabs are only for local deliveries. They haul fuel, groceries, milk, things like that. The tractor trailers will run, the over-the-road guys will hold just about anything. But they need the bigger tanks because they're going the long distance. They're going to go coast to coast. So they don't have time to stop for fuel, every 600-800 miles or whatever. Although at 5 to 8 miles to the gallon that most tractor trailers get, they're still going to be stopping for fuel pretty regular. Now, thinking about that with the price of fuel, $3.15 a gallon times 200 gallons, you're going to see what's going to go in the tank. You're looking at $600. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, depending on, again, the price of fuel. Then you've got tires. Now, the DOT mandates that on the front of a truck, or the steering tires, the ones up front, be new tires when they're put on. They can't be retreads. Retreads are essentially just an old tire that's had new rubber put on it, but they're also more prone to blowouts. So the DOT says No retreads on the front. Got to be new when you put them on. But the kicker is, for a new tire up front, you're looking at a minimum of $500 for one tire. So for the set, you're dropping over $1,000, and that's for cheap ones. You can go upwards of $1,000 for one brand new tire. And then if you want to put new ones on the back, multiply that times 18 to go all the way around the truck, and you're going to get real expensive real fast. Compare that to the tires you put on your passenger vehicle. For a set of Michelins or some of the high end, you're looking at $100 for one tire. So you're going to spend less for a set of 4 than a truck driver would for one brand new tire. So you've got tires, you've got fuel, and again, at 5 to 8 miles to the gallon, you're going to be stopping for fuel every 1,500 miles or so, which, in a vehicle, passenger vehicle isn't bad, but, we're not going to be spending $600 to fill it up either. And for an owner-operator, that comes out of their pay. So it's in their best interest to, keep costs down and all that. And when the price of fuel jacks up, that's less money in their pocket. Then we had the Texas situation a couple of months back, and y'all remember that. All 254 Texas counties were under a winter storm warning. Something I had never seen before. Somehow thinking Texas and snow just in the same sentence makes no sense to me, but okay. And people were critical of, keeping the trucks rolling on ice and snow and all that, and no. I know the people do it up on the ice roads in Alaska and the Northwest Territory, but think about that. That is some high dollar stuff running up there for the diamond mines. The drivers on the ice roads up there make as much in 8 weeks. Their season is 8 weeks. They make as much in 8 weeks as a lot of drivers do in a year. Those people will pull $60,000, $80,000, $100,000 in 8 weeks, which is why it's so lucrative. But also the probability of wrecking the truck and the cold temperatures. I mean, it gets bitter cold up there, and diesel likes to gel at them temperatures, and it's just a mess. Then you've got issues too of who's going to get into work to unload the trucks. And no salt crews. I mean, it's not cost efficient for the southern states like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. They don't get enough snow to keep to buy the trucks, the salt, have a place to store it, have the road crews and all that. So, what do you do? Do you then import that stuff from northern states? That's going to cost money to send people from the northern states down and treat the roads and all that, and we're already taxed bad enough the way it is. We're all screaming that we're getting bled dry here, so it's a catch-22. What are we gonna do? So I think the best situation and all that, when winter storms like that come along, we have plenty of advance warning that, hey, the stuff's coming. Get to the store, get your fuel, get your food, stock up on your generators, that sort of thing. With the grid going down, there are some improvements there to be made, I'm sure. But as to trucking into that mess, no. You don't want to risk the lives of the drivers and risk them getting hurt or possibly killed for wrecking the truck and everything like that. That's a no-win. So, Not the best video I wanted to make this morning, but just a few comments on trucking and the weather, and I could go into climate change and all that, but we're already past 10 minutes this morning, and we can talk more about that later. Thank y'all. Appreciate yous. Jimbo out.